Hello, peeps. I am Tidbit. All my figures are girls, and welcome to another showcase. This showcase is of Silverbolt from the Age of the Primes line. So this is the plain version, the totally not a Concord, legally version. And it's also going to be Superion. So that's why it's so long. And speaking of long, it's a long plane, can barely fit in the frame. And if you notice, we're back in the old void because, oh gosh, they're big. And there's a reason they're big. This is like the head of the robot mode for the combiner. And so we found the robot. And I've done my best to try and hide it because they've got the faux wheels here and here. And normally, you're supposed to take this gun and have it facing forward, so it's armed, but as you saw with how I was displaying it before, I like it backwards because then it just makes the black of the head kind of blend in. But yeah, that's it for this Concord mode. Now, let's move them to what I call Enterprise mode, because yeah, we're not going straight to robot here. So first, you're going to want to take these wings, move them up, and flip out these little tips. You could just have these when it's in normal Concord mode, normal plane mode, but the instructions say that these are supposed to be down during that mode. And then you just take this tail fin and split it open. Finally, just move the wheels back. I like to put them not all the way back, and this one back. And let's just move the gun back here. And then we're ready to go into Enterprise mode with this. So, you see these two red tabs, clamps? They go around these yellow orangish bits. And they just go in like that. Then there is a little tab here. And you take that and you put it on the wing, like so. Oh, looks like I done something. Come on. Where would this go? Ah, that's why. Because this part was not fully aligned. There you go. And as you notice there, welcome to a giant one-shot video. It's so big and it's going to be so long that we're just going to keep the mistakes in. And so here, ta-da, is what I call the Enterprise, because look at the size of this thing. It barely fits on the grid, and so it definitely wouldn't fit in the box. So we're back in the white void. And oh my gosh, look at this thing. It's so majestic. And honestly, when you have it all like this, it does just kind of look like this is what a spaceship would look like. All clean from the top to appease the shareholders, and then it's all the engineering down below. So, yeah. This, I really like this. I love the skeleton combiners. They have a very interesting style to them. And that means if you just have this one figure, like me, you just need to buy the one thing to have a giant robot. And so, speaking of robot, let's go and transform Silverbolt. So let's just put this back on the ground and get started with the transformation. But we're actually not going to do this one first. I've tricked you. Yeah, we're not doing Silverbolt first. We're doing this piece first, because why not? It has a supposed weapon platform mode, and so we'll get started with that. There's a peg here, and a peg here, and you put those together. Then you just take this piece, flip it out, put it like so, and then we'll put this to the side. Next, for this back area, what you're going to want to do, there's a little tab slot connection happening here on both sides that you want to disconnect like that. Next, you can come over here, flip up these little pieces so you can disconnect this tab from this slot. Do that on both sides. Next, take this latch, flip it up, and then disconnect from these two slots and pegs. Then you're going to want to take this piece, flip it all the way around till it looks something like that on both sides. Put it like so, take the clamp, put it down at a 90-degree angle, and then take this piece and put it back down like so. Then you take this big piece, you flip these clamps in, and then you note these spots for putting on the jets. You take those and you put them in these very shallow slots on the yellow bits till you have it on both sides. Put that there. Take this, note where this is, these little hollow points, and you put it where it connected to the red, and boom, we have a weapons platform. It's like a little barricade wall with a gun on top. That's what the instructions say to do. So now let's transform Silverbolt. We'll just take off the gun and we'll just stick it here for now. Take the tips of the wings, put them away. Take the fin, put it back together, then move it. It's very difficult to see. It starts here, and then you move it up like so. It takes a lot of doing because you cannot just try and go up like this, because then you can't actually get it to its final position. You have to go back and up. Next, we're going to disconnect the whole front of the ship from these slots into these little spots here. And then disconnect till it's like so. Take the front, put away the nose, and then just clamp it in right there. And so the fin goes up into the cavity. And then I say put the wings back so it's a lot easier to manipulate. You take these whole side parts and you move them down. You rotate them around, you flip out a panel and bring down the foot. You do that on both sides. Like that. Next, you take this whole red piece and disconnect from here. Take these inner parts and move them out, rotate them down, flip out the hands. Now, here's where you can have a choice of where you can take this red bit, move it back up, and connect it both on a little slot here and a spot here, and up here in the shoulder area. Move this part just a bit down, and then just squeeze it all together, spin around the head, and boom. Here, you have the Superion fangirl mode. Ta-da! They have a big old hat. It looks like Superion. But to get to Silverbolt, you open up the chest, you have this spun around, you push it down till it clicks in like so. And then the next part, I personally have the shoulders spread out because you open up this part and then you're trying to get the yellow antennae into these little square spots there. And so I like to, from the back here, just push them down slightly because mine are bent a little, and then it's easier to put them in. And then before I click everything in, I bring the arms back in and then tab everything together while making sure the antennae are not bent from trying to just ram it all in there. And then finally, spin around the head, and boom. Here we have Silverbolt. And Holy goodness. I really like this. The fact it's a skeleton combiner means a lot of the components can just be over here. And we get a very nice looking robot with little flapping wings. And you can even just leave out the extra tabs if you want sharper wings. Or you can just fold them all the way back to just try and hide it the most. And then they've got their little blaster. And so they are ready to lead. And everything's so clicky in the hips. It's so nice. They've got really good knees. And big old all the way ankle tilts. Now, this would be the part of the video where I go, now we're here for a fan mode. But we're not. We got this to deal with. We got Superion to make. So let's get on with that. We're just going to take these guns now. You're going to take this gun, and you're going to note that there's a little tab here, because on this back peg, I wish this wasn't here so you could hold it like a sword, but there's a tiny little tab there that goes in here to make it only this orientation. So, boom, we have made the gun. Next, we're going to transform Silverbolt all the way back into jet mode, practically. If I wasn't me, and I did the whole we don't need to find the robot, I would have started in robot mode, so I could show the jet modes and then go into combine mode. But no, I like to have the little game of trying to find the robot. And then I get to have these conversations here when I'm doing redundant transformations. All right. Flip the feet, back up, rotate at the thigh, bend, get it up and over the arm, put the hip skirt down, do the same on the other side. It is hot in here. I remember why I abandoned this void. So, when we get to this spot right here, we're going to spin around the head, and then we're going to, in the back here, disconnect the nose and bend the tail fin out. And that's where we'll leave Superion's head. Now, for the next part, let's do the waist. You just make sure everything is aligned to how you want it. Like, for example, you want the screws in the back. So just bend these forward, and then put the screw sides on the inside of the legs. So there is a cavity here in the back. I am still not used to this camera placement. It's so high up. Next, you're going to take these two parts, and there's a little peg on this one where we connected the gun to be the giant tail fin, and there is a hole here. This is the one you're going to want to do first. You take it, and you connect it, and then you can bend it forward so these two slots on the bottom connect here. Like that. Then take the chest plate, connect it up into 4 different spots, 1 on each side here, and then 2 in the chest. And then take the tail fin, put it down to its normal position, and connect the nose back up. And boom, we have a solid chunk of Superion torso. And we're going to lay them down on their front so they don't fall over. Next, we got this old hunk of stuff. What you're going to want to do is disconnect from the middle here. You can see all these chunky tabs that go into each other. Take this, separate from here. Take this, separate from here. And now we have a bunch of parts. So let's start with the legs. You're going to want to take a piece. You're going to want to come in here, and you can push this forward to pull this out. Then you move this black part up, and you take this little tiny black tab, and you're going to push it in. And then to make sure it's solid, just try and rotate. And you'll see that it's locked in, that only this will move. Next, come in here, flip out the toe, close up the heel spur, or you can leave it out to have like extra stability. And there's one foot, and we do all the same thing on the other side, like that. And then you are able to take the legs, note which leg is which, because they only have a one-way ankle tilt, and you go into the back here and put it under this sliding tab. And that is actually how you pull it out. You push up on this gate. And we just put both of them in, move the legs out a bit, fold the ankle tilts, and as you can see, this is why we have the camera up so high. Next, we're going to do the arms. You're going to want to flip out the fist, flip out the shoulder piece, and just slide it on top there. And do the same on the other side. And this is Superion before putting any of the bots on, because you're supposed to put a bot on the back of the leg, so this piece closes, and you're supposed to put stuff on the arm so you can crack them apart. But I don't have any of those pieces, so we'll just crack these now. You crack it down, you bend it back up, crack this down, fold it back up, and then you can bring it down, because it runs into stuff over here. And then, boom, full-length arm Superion. And finally, the gun. There's two ways you can put this gun on them. You can take this square peg and put it on this square spot. And then, kerpow, you have a gun that's not attached to the hand. If I ever do this mode, I like to have the arm like so it's like a top blaster. Or you can take the gun and flip out a handle and just put it in their actual hand. Like so. And it's an even longer gun. It's very interesting. This is an important note no one really talks about. The hand, it's got peg hole here, but no peg hole on the other side. So they can't stab someone with a knife. They could stab someone with these wings. Look at that. And oh my gosh, giant robot. I freaking love this. This is the first over $60 figure I have in my collection, and it is a beauty. Look at her. She's so massive. She's the reason that I don't have any of my stuff here in the void. And they're just really cool. And you can, just like Silverbolt, have the wings however you want. Do you want them pointy? Do you want them flat? Do you want them splayed out? Or do you want them hidden away? And so, yeah. And they've got all these, like, really chunky joints to do some cool poses in. And I'm not really a person to talk about the articulation, so watch someone else's video about that. What I am about is fan modes. We're finally to that part of the video, because yes, there's a fan mode for all of this. So, let's get started. Let's remove the gun and slowly take them apart. The best way I have found is to come in here, use one hand to just grab all of the chest, and then just take your other hand and push up against this red to disconnect and keep it away from other things. The amount of things that Superion has whacked because I'm disassembling her. Oh my gosh. I don't want to say them all. So, we got the arms off. Next, we're going to get the legs off. And then finally, we're going to get the waist off. So you just take all of those off. You disconnect the chest, pull it away, rotate this up, and pull Silverbolt away. And we're just going to take all of Silverbolt, put them to the side, because this fan mode just needs the parts of Superion and the blaster. So let's get started. First, the core of this construction is going to be to start with the legs. You're going to want to open up, heel, spur, close the toe back inside. And then when you're dealing with this, you can just, with your thumb, do it, but then it hurts. And then we just take this and fold it down. Do not fold down the black bit till you have it like so. And you do that to the other side as well. If you don't want to use your thumb, or your thumbs really can't do it, take the back of Superion's gun. Use this curved surface to get in behind. And... Ow. I moved the camera. I normally do it right-handed. You can use it as a tool. Ta-da! So, take that, move that down, boom. We have the legs all ready. Next, you take an arm. You come to this side, you rotate the black piece so the empty spot is going against the port. Looking at the instructions here, my instructions. Then you take this, rotate like so, until it all looks kind of like this. So you can put it on the leg that corresponds. Next, you're going to just kind of rotate this fist like so, and then just rotate the elbow till everything just kind of softly fits like so. And you do the same on the other side. Like that. And then, finally, take the hips. Move this piece up like so. It'll be important later. Take the legs, rotate them like this. So that way there's no screw holes on the top here, and the cavity is below, because we're taking this, move the chest out of the way, and we are connecting them while in these configurations, because you can do that. I have been fiddling with this figure for about over a week, and oh my gosh, when I figured out I could do this was stellar. And then finally, just as a little, because you can just have it like this, but the final touch is you take the gun, you put it on this piece and rotate it up like a flagpole, and boom, here is Gate Superion. And it's a glorious piece of engineering I have figured out with all these parts. Look at this. It's a huge gate with an opening and closing door. It actually functions. And when the door is open, we can take Headmaster and see that, yeah, it scales. It's a functioning gate. Now, no gate set is complete until you have something to siege it. So, let's transform Silverbolt, and that's the other fun part. All those parts make something, and all of Silverbolt makes something. So, what you're going to do is actually really simple. You're just going to disconnect the legs from the torso, rotate them like so, and you might want to move the hip skirts out of the way. Next, we're going to open up the chest, bring out the arms, and then put the chest back, like so. Then you're going to take the arms, rotate them till this part is up, and then you're not going to bend it like this, because I'll use the other one as an example. You're going to spin it around and bend it like so to get a slightly longer appendage. Take the wings, flip out the little tips, and bend them at an angle. Take the tail fin, open it up, bend it as low as you can, take the nose, spin it around, and open up this top part. And then, ta-da! The Silverbolt Beast. Look at it. It's got huge, crushing front legs. This one is called Chomp and Stomp. So, this is Chomp and Stomp, because look at this mouth. Look at it. You got the windshield acting as a normal eye. You got the tabs to connect it up as like teeth. And, of course, you can munch a headmaster. Who was trying to get through the gates to safety. And this has little fun features because the hands are here and they're normal port size. If it jumps up, it can like put these legs like so and have little thrusters for when it flies. And then this back area, the head, you can just see it as like, oh, this is like just an abdomen. This is the butt where it keeps like poisons or something. And the red part is just a band. Because it's not really a face. It's just 3 colors here. It's only pareidolia that allows us to see the face of robots. So, yeah. Those are the fan modes. Silverbolt Beast and Superion Gate. Thank you for watching. Like the video, comment your thoughts, share it around. Check out the playlist for previous fan mode showcases, and subscribe to be notified when new ones come out. Bye-bye!